This episode is brought to you by Dogfish Head Craft Brewery. The Grateful Dead and Dogfish Head have gotten the band back together with the release of Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale, a light-bodied pale ale brewed with sustainable kernels of grains, granola, and heaps of good karma for a refreshing brew that's music to your taste buds. Available nationwide, visit dogfish.com to find Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale in your neck of the woods. Dogfish Head Craft Brewery is located in Milton, Delaware. Please drink responsibly.
This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Purdy Insurance, Brewers Outlet, and Sunbury Motor Company. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
This half hour being brought to you by our good friends at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, the best in new inventory. You go with the best. It's just such a comfort level when you go with the best. I bought my vehicle, I went with the best. I went with Sunbury Motors. Pre-owned inventory, that may scream your budget. Okay. Totally understand. Go to a place that has a Sunbury Motors guarantee. It's not just a vehicle sitting on the lot. They go over the vehicle. Every inch of it. Eases the buying experience. Service department, terrific. It makes it one-stop shopping. Quick lane, inspections, routine difficult, all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Bob Nightengale in a few minutes here. Bob, how are you? Great to have you with us.
Hey, Steve.
How was airport security, okay?
Yeah, went through a fun clutter.
Oh, jeez. Okay, the game that will be here on Sunday night will be the Mets and the Mariners. I want to get to the Mariners first. Raleigh, of course, has taken justifiably a lot of publicity. Julio Rodriguez is 2020. In your opinion, how good is that team?
I mean, that team is capable of winning it all, Steve. I mean, with that pitching. I mean, it's
yes.
The team everybody's been talking about the last couple of years. Like, hey, don't waste the pitching, and they wasted it. This year, they're right there in position. So I think they'll be they should be okay. As long as they get in. It doesn't matter whether they win division or wild card. But this team with that rotation can go a long, long way.
Now let's go to the other side. The Mets, who will go into the game as the bigger story because they are the Mets and have spent so much money. Why the issues in the past 3 weeks?
I never, even before the season started, I didn't pick them to make the playoffs. I didn't like that starting rotation, and I still don't. They don't go deep enough in games. They got the bullpen help, which they need. Offense, as we say, is very erratic. But now even the guys that picked up in the bullpen, haven't done a good job. So I thought they needed another starter, and they ignored it. Something like David Stearns, it's like, okay, they fill the other spot, but he's never paid out the big money for a starter.
Juan Soto, when he was in Washington, was tremendous. They won a World Series. San Diego just wasn't comfortable as a fit for him. The Yankees were. What about the Mets? Why does it seem he's uncomfortable with the Mets the way he was with San Diego?
Yes, in San Diego, I know they made the playoffs the first year he was there, but it was a disaster. They did not like him at all. Not a good fit in the clubhouse. He and Machado and Tatis weren't getting along. They thought he was too much of a loner, wasn't a good teammate. So, then, of course, went to the Yankees, and then, Aaron Judge put his arm around him. Everything went well. And it takes time. I mean, you already got Lindor there. You know, I don't think he wanted to stay in New York because of, it was always going to be Judge's team. So what's happening now is pretty much what happened in San Diego.
The Brewers have been one of the truly great stories that, unless it's an outstanding reporter such as yourself, they're underreported on what has made Milwaukee consistent and really good.
They just do things right. It's almost like a college team. They just do the little things. You know, no big stars on a team outside Christian Yelich. And they're not going to have a single player finishing top 10 in MVP or Cy Young. And they just do all the little things that are right. It's a fun team to watch, fun team to pull for, being the smallest, being the smallest market in all of baseball. So it's a cool story. I mean, their payroll is like $90 million less than Cubs, and here they are knocking off the Cubs, year after year.
What kind of difference did the acquisitions make in San Diego where now they're in first place?
Yeah, I'll see they end up there. A lot of times they do this, and they're kind of a tease at the end. The Dodgers are still a very good team. Their rotation's been beat up. Even the bullpen's been beat up. But I think they got the pieces. I thought last year was the last chance to win. But I think this is the last chance. At some point, you have to pay the freight for those big contracts that really balloon at the end. So here's their chance. I know Michael King just won the injury list again, but they certainly have the big boys in there. Got the best bullpen in baseball, and I think one of the keys is Yu Darvish. I think if Yu Darvish can pitch to what he has in the past, that can be very dangerous too.
How interesting is it going to be to see the Phillies with the return of Aaron Nola attempt to work a six-man rotation?
Yeah, they could use Nola to get going. If not, put him in the bullpen. I think one of those starters have got to go in the bullpen. Whether it's him, whether it's Walker, whether it's Luzardo, one of those guys need to go in there. And right now Nola's probably on the fifth or sixth best starter. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But they certainly, they've sort of been winning without him.
The Phillies, for example, I mean, when they score a block of runs, but their offense is very inconsistent. They have enough games where, like Washington, where they lost 3-2, where is it almost if they don't hit home runs, they're not really as effective offensively?
Yeah, and I think you're right, Steve. I mean, that's why a lot of scouts say how easy they are to pitch to in the postseason. And we've seen that time and time again where their big boys get shut down. I think Trey Turner is a big key. I think he needs to just get on base, at least 36, 40% of the time, and go from there because he can run. He's stealing more bases this year. But you're exactly right. I think in the past they relied on that home run, and that's crucial.
Then there's Toronto. Toronto's done a great job of getting themselves, to the front in the East. They're up 5 on the Red Sox as we do this. When you look at Toronto's starting pitching at this point, what do you think about them with their bullpen?
I think they need more help in the bullpen.
Yes.
Rotation is good, but streaky. I mean, it's kind of cool to see what Max Scherzer is doing now. A very good team, a team that's underachieved the last couple of years. I think the fact they're getting in the playoffs is going to save some jobs there. I think Schneider, the manager, could have been fired any day in May, and nobody would have blinked. Now he may win AL Manager of the Year award. So, no, it's fun. It's fun to see how excited people in Toronto, Canada's team. And it's been a long time for those guys. It's a cool story. And obviously, Vlad Guerrero, when he got paid, but decided to stay put. Everybody's kind of rallied around him.
Yeah, it's interesting because Caden Shapiro played here in State College this summer as part of the MLB Draft League, and of course his dad runs the Blue Jays. So it was interesting talking to him for about 2 months when he was here. So, Bob, as always, safe trip on the plane. glad you got through security. There are enough coworkers I have here that I can assure you would have struggled.
Thanks. So far, successful.
Thanks, Bob. Safe trip, my friend.
All right. Take care, Steve. Thank you.
Bob Nightengale. Oh, boy. You wonder why the suit drives everywhere. It's called TSA. All right, so what? What? No? No, yeah, maybe.
It's probably not worth flying to the places he goes to, though, either.
I'll tell you right now, I'm at the point of my life where if I could fly, I'm in the air. I've driven so many places this year. I drove to Charleston. I drove to Chicago. I drove up to New Hampshire. I mean, I'm sitting like going, you know what? I think I'd like to get on a plane. I think give that a shot. See what it's like, you know? So I'm so used to doing in football and basketball. I actually, no offense, I find flying relatively easy, but that's just me. Okay, we'll take a break. Brought to you by our good friends at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors, Kia, routes 11 and 15, Hummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. On News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Party time, game time, or just fun time. Doesn't matter what time it is because it's Brewers Outlet time. The Beverage Supermarket has the area's largest beer selection. Imports, microbrews, ciders, and domestics. Pick from over 100 ice-cold 12-packs and dozens of 24-ounce singles. Soda, snacks, hot sauces, fresh roasted peanuts. Make it one-stop party shopping, and don't forget the pickle bar. So whatever you're celebrating or just doing it up, Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street, Sunbury wants to see you. And thank you for your years of patronage.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.